mentoring, and I kind of named it that because we do mentoring every day, but here it is. And I put down here, I bet you are already mentoring. So I know you guys are kind of curious of what I mean by that, but we'll get to it. So the talking points today is that, yes, it is September and we have a lot of things coming up with Iowa Mentor events. So I'm going to mention that. And then becoming a better mentor, we have that, and the mentoring mindset. And then what is everyday mentoring? I will get into that too. But first, I want to do some mindfulness. We said we would love to do these every once in a while. So I just want you guys to stop what you're doing and put things down for a minute. So I know sometimes with these webinars, we want to multitask and think we can do some stuff on the other side while we're listening, which is cool. But for right now, I want you to stop what you're doing for a minute. I know some of you are just joining the call, moving things around. You can turn your camera off, and I just want you to stop and be still. And I want you to take a breath. Take one in, take one out. I want you to observe your thoughts and feelings and emotions. And now we can proceed with something that settles you. So here we go. So these are very nice, aren't they? But pick which one, as you look at the screen, which environment speaks to you. So can you imagine yourself on the beach or at the lake, by a pond, or maybe you're not a water person at all, but you can appreciate an aquarium. So when you find the one that speaks to you, close your eyes and imagine yourself there. Do you hear the water? Nature all around? What do you smell? Is there salt in the air? Are your feet in the sand? Can you hear the water? You can go to this place anytime you want in your mind. Just want to let you know that. I want you to take another deep breath and open your eyes. And then I want you to proceed with something that supports you. And so I hope that's what we get to do today. So what we just did in this moment is a mindfulness technique called stop. And actually we did it twice. So you stop what you are doing and you put things down for a minute. Then you take a breath, you observe your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and then you proceed with something that will support you in the moment. So in this moment, I hope that this webinar, that you feel appreciated and supported for the work that you do. And as we talk about upcoming events and trainings, we will begin to provide things for mentors, and we want you to know that we are always looking for resources all the time to support you and the community that you serve. So with that being said, just wanted to share some upcoming events that are happening that you guys probably already know about, but this is the Become a Better Mentor trainings, strategies to be there for young people. Just to reiterate, both of these, you go to one or the other, right? One is closer to some of you, so in Cedar Falls, and the other one is in our Des Moines office. I will see if I can highlight this, Mary. I don't know if I can in my notes, and but we'll send. I think you guys all have a link to register if you haven't registered already. And just want to reiterate too that this is an overview of what Become a Better Mentor is. Iowa Mentor, Mary and I, Jason, we will be coming up with a training for your mentors. And so this is kind of like an overview of what it is. And then there is, in the afternoon of September 14th, is the mentoring mindset from 1:30 to 3 p.m. So those are the things. So any questions about our Become a Better Mentor and the mentoring mindset? Any questions about those workshops? Oh, yay, we're all good. So, mentoring mindset, I wanted to just kind of give you a tease that it is being all in, and it's also being consistent, and it's also being intentional. So you're going to see with mentoring mindset, there's so much that I could say. You'll probably see this slide next week. I won't give you too much details because that's kind of the whole point, but I wanted to at least give you a little tease. And so Become a Better Mentor and the mentoring mindset, just kind of want to explain them a little bit. Become a Better Mentor teaches mentors about the core skills and key principles that engage their work. It is 135 pages, which is, we know that the average everyday person isn't going to read 135 pages of this evidence-based practices. So we are trying to bring the most of it into an active kind of workshop things to help you all. And our goal is to, train your mentors, the ones you already have, on how to be a better mentor, and also train potential mentors, give them both a certificate of completion. It would not be something that we'd certify or anything accredited or anything like that. No, this would just be that they have completed this training, and it kind of gives you a heads up and a help that you, when you are giving them your training about your mentoring program, that you don't have to start at the beginning of what a mentor actually is. And we kind of give them the foundation or the fundamental background of that. I see this as a great thing for peer-to-peer mentoring. So if you have someone who has just turned 18 or is in high school and going to mentor someone who's younger than them, this would be a great thing for them to understand what actually a mentor does and give them some boundaries. And the mentoring mindset it more identifies attitudes and beliefs and behaviors that serve the foundation of being an effective mentor and a caring adult. So it is something that an adult working and interacting with a young person should consider using to impact their relationship. So I hope that this kind of gives you a breakdown of how both of these are super important and how they will interact with one another. So do you guys have any questions about that? We're doing pretty good. Yeah. So here's what we know. Iowa Mentor, we hope to train mentors in your programs and potential mentors to lower that 63%. So it says here 63% of mentors say they lack training for the role as a mentor. They see it, or they see it as a challenge. And we hope to help you recruit this 43% that say that those mentoring outside of programs say this, that they're not sure if they have what it takes to like formally do mentoring. And so, and that 13%, they say the same thing, right? So the 43% of those mentoring outside programs say that they lack the skills, and 13%, they're like, I don't mentor enough to be in a program. So we want to improve the quality of mentoring, and we need to support the skills and abilities of those in the mentoring role. And we know that. So this is why we are doing, Mentor National especially is focusing on the mentor. And, normally they have produced resources to help us as program practitioners, which is great. And we love the elements of effective practice and all that it provides. But at the same time, now the focus is on the mentor, as we, look at all that they do, and all that they are, volunteering their time. So, what is everyday mentoring? Everyday mentoring, don't worry, even though some of the affiliates, Mentor New York, uses this as a training. This is, for me, I see everyday mentoring as an idea. So everyday mentoring says, be one of those adults who practices mentoring every day because every day matters. To me, it's an idea that there are caring adults everywhere mentoring, and they don't identify themselves as mentoring. So I'm sure you guys can name a neighbor or a teacher or a coach, or maybe one of your parents' friends that clearly were mentors, somebody that you looked up to when you were growing up. I can say from my experience that I remember when I was 12, my mom got her PhD, and that was that was a lot. So I remember that there were several women at the time who got their PhD, and that meant a lot because not only did my mom support me, but it was all these other women. I saw them going after their careers and their dreams, and it was powerful to me. So I am certain that there are people who are realizing that they don't know that they're mentoring. So I know that you're tired. So I know. So as I was looking at all of the ways that we are doing our jobs, recruiting, this work is not easy. So I'm hoping these ideas will help. It's not easy to get people to serve, especially now that we had, a year and a half, maybe 2 years where we weren't really doing this. We were afraid to do this. People social distance themselves, and now we have the social distancing of the mind, right? In some places. But you will all, I think about just giving these strategies a chance. My dad used to say, you will miss all the shots that you don't swing at. So this is what we're going to do. So in our situation, this is what I hear from programs a lot. Um, due to the pandemic, we aren't seeing the numbers of volunteers to mentor, and young people are waiting for a caring adult. In our programs, the matches get together during the required time, but it's difficult to find a mentor, parent, or community engagement for group activities. And we have individuals who take mentor applications with every intention of returning them, but guess what? They never do. Or our trainings are online, in person, hybrid. We can't catch the people. We're inconsistent because of CDC guidelines. Can we get together? Can we not? So we've had this dance, I guess, we've been doing. And so, and we've tried some marketing strategies and some incentives, and some of them work and some of them don't. So I want to use everyday mentoring as a way to have some recruitment strategies, because we do this every day. And so everyday mentoring, the first strategy that I'm going to suggest is that I bet you are already mentoring. I bet there are people in your community or people around you that you look at them and you say, you're already mentoring. So I'm going to share with you about the after school art program. I used to be a teaching artist with the after school art program in Des Moines, and I loved it. I had a group of, it just so happened that I had a group of young girls who were in third, fourth, and fifth grade, and they wanted to learn interior design. And so I taught them how to choose color theory, how to use balance and proportion and all of that by making their dream room in a shoebox. And I had a great time and all of that. But the Art After School program never really saw themselves as a mentoring program. They were just like, no, we're teaching them art and we're teaching them all of these things because art is not necessarily an extracurricular activity at their school. So we're doing it after school and this is great. And so here I am working for Iowa Mentor, and I say to them, you are a mentoring program. I was there. You're already mentoring. And she thought about it and she was like, we we are mentoring. We are doing these things. So this is my question to you all. Is there a person in your community offering piano lessons? Yes, I know they probably offer that for a fee, but the whole art in the park, are they volunteering in the city? I don't think they know. I think you can ask them to mentor because they already are. And so it just takes someone to come to them and express care and say, you're doing great. Do you know that you're mentoring? And we could use, a child could use um, your, could use you, your personality, what you bring to the community. Um, Someone who is seeking a degree in teaching. I know I'm up here in Ames, and I know some of you live close to colleges. Have you ever tried to talk to those students that are trying to get a degree in teaching or working with children or social work or what have you? They need the experience. So I just wanted to just share some of those strategies with you that I bet you that they are already mentoring or they already have that mindset to mentor. So, strategy 2 is to exercise empathy. To me, empathy is a verb. It is something that you do. It's a huge part of emotional intelligence, a much needed thing in our work. So, Colleen, I know you're on the call. So I love helping services a mentor for a day where um, some of those young people who haven't been matched yet, you can't necessarily call them a mentee. And help me if I get this right, Colleen, but you guys let someone mentor for a day for these students or these young people who haven't been matched yet, right?
So it's kind of a twofold. A mentor for a day can come to our group monthly events and act as a mentor for a day for either waiting youth who are on the list and aren't matched yet, and youth who want to come to an event but their mentor already has plans and can't make it or something like that. So they come and it's just a short-term option as needed as what events they can attend and what events they can come to. And maybe they can't fully commit to mentoring, but then they come and they're a mentor for a day. And sometimes we generate full mentors out of it. Like they get their feet wet as a mentor for a day and start, but then they're like, Kathy and I, my coworker, we purposely like put them with the same youth that comes to events, and they're like, this kid's pretty cool. I think I want to end up being a mentor.
That's
So
I
that's
I
how it
love I
works.
love that. I love that because I think sometimes we don't really realize that a young person is waiting. Or when I say we don't realize. Not that I know that you realize it as the program coordinator, program manager, but a mentor, someone who is wanting to be a mentor and they are want to volunteer. I think sometimes there may be this disconnect that, yeah, I need to turn in this application, or yeah, I want a mentor, but they need to, they think of it as a process, right? A business that they need to turn this in to do this. But when we put it in a way where we empathize with this young person that is waiting and to consider their feelings of having to wait for a caring adult. So I say exercise empathy because we want to keep that front of mind. So one way to do that, teachers use these all the time. It's called empathy maps. I'll actually put the PDF in the chat. I think Mary can do that for me. But not only does this is an empathy map to keep the young person in front of you, keep this person front of your mind to help you with recruitment. So this is not something that you post on the wall or anything like that. It's something that you may keep in their file or keep in their folder, and you know what this young person's interests and goals are, their areas of strength, their academic needs, their SEL needs. Maybe they have some career things that they can't wait to be someday. I just strongly, and then maybe there may be something culturally that you need to put on their empathy map so that you understand that maybe their parents are divorced, or they struggle with some things at school. It's just something for you to be able to empathize with what that young person is going through. And however you want to use it, you and your staff can use this however they want to. Has anybody used empathy maps or something like this?
It has arrived, huh? Thank you.
It is it's a good thing. It keeps everything front of mind.
Okay, got it. Thank you. All right, what's your plan? Are you going to Osage today or tomorrow?
So, the next strategy is the 5 touches. I've used this strategy in reaching out to volunteers, and in no way am I telling you this is what you have to do or anything like that, but we've all heard it said that I hear you, but I'm not listening. So what do you do when you don't get the mentoring application back? There's like no reply, no email. You try to text, call, however it is in your area. But what do you guys do when the ghosting happens? I'm just curious. Well, I'm going to pick on Andrea because I know that this has happened to new ops a couple of times, and I know that it's hard to chase people. So I know Andrea has said some things about it. So Andrea, if you're able to unmute yourself.
Yeah, for that, we do a kind of a system, like we reach out via email or phone call like 2 or 3 times, and then we kind of go from there. If they're not going to reach out back, if we left a voicemail or an email, then we just let them go. But we kind of have a reoccurring list of like, so they've made a referral for themselves to be a mentor, so we have that on our file. So if they try to come in the past, be like, hey, I communicated with you at one point, but obviously you didn't get the email or something, then we go from there.
Yeah, right. And so this 5 touches is just a suggestion. It's a strategy. You touch it 5 times. I just want to encourage you all that you all do phenomenal work, and to stand in the work that you do, be empowered that you do good work. And now there is someone in front of you that wants to join your good work. And so they just can't come in and slouch on the couch, right? And just do whatever they want or what have you. You have a structure and you are trying to enrich the lives of young people. So, with that being said, when you get someone who is interested in being a mentor and they say they're interested and they take an application, I want to know, before we talk about the 5 touches, what's their why? So you want to know their why. So a suggestion I would love is when they take that mentor application, ask them, hey, why do you want to mentor? And make sure you write that down, because when you don't know their why, it's really hard to figure out, like, why did they want to do this in the first place if they're ghosting me? But when you reach out to them and you're able to communicate that you remembered their why, now we're in an engaging relationship. So, do you know why they want to be a mentor? And then if you do know, then you can use that to your advantage when it's time to reach out to them. And so record that. And then also, when it's appropriate and you make that connection with a person who wants to be a mentor, you can share with them why you do what you do. What's your why? Why are you in your job? It will help you with the 5 touches. So this strategy of 5 touches, touch number 1, obviously, is the initial contact. I would say you want to email them within 24 hours. And this is me just assuming in this scenario that I'm about to share with you, is that this person picked up a mentoring application and they just haven't returned it. So this is where we are. And so, email them within 24 hours about how excited you are that they want to mentor, and share their why back with them. So me and Susie had this conversation, and she said she wanted to mentor because she wants to give back to her community. That's her why. The community was good for her, so she wants to pay it forward. So you can share your why when it's appropriate. And your last paragraph or thought should be, can I call you, or I will call you, or however they wanted you to reach out to them. Be totally respectful. I know that some people won't answer the phone if they don't know that person's phone number. They're just not going to answer it, and they just want you to leave a voicemail. Maybe a text would be better. Or you can ask them, hey, should we schedule a meeting or a chat or a video? But never just leave that email hanging with no call to action. So, ask them how they want to reach out next. So touch number 2 is to express care but need. So after 2 weeks, perhaps text 150 characters or less. I know nobody wants this long marathon text from someone that they don't know very well. Share that you know that they're busy, that you want to touch base and see if they are interested in mentoring a young person still. You can tell them how many young people are waiting and are needing a mentor. I think that what you're doing is you're expressing care about their life, but also telling them what you need. So there's a thought there. So touch number 3 is to provide support. So give it another 2 weeks, right? And this person still hasn't turned in their mentor application. So let's say they didn't reply to they did reply to your text. So I think that most people do reply to a text. If somebody doesn't reply to a text after 2 weeks, I'm wondering like what that's all about. But I'm sure they'll text you back and say something, but you still haven't gotten back this mentor application. So go back and send another email, but this time it should be an email from a seasoned mentor. And they're sharing their experience as a mentor with your organization. So this seasoned mentor email should be supportive, helpful, share how much fun it is. It's challenging but rewarding. I'm being myself and being consistent, and it's helping this particular young person. You know, and then I would give a soft deadline by inviting them to an event. So does your program have an open house? Do you do that once a quarter so people kind of in the community know what you're about and what you do? If that's the case, I would invite them to that. Or is there an event with a mentor, mentee that they can participate in that is safe for everyone? So you don't want to make it unsafe, but just something like Colleen just said of just having a mentor for a day, that's a good thing to perhaps have them come to and bring the mentor application. So touch number 4 is next to the last. You give it another 2 weeks and text and share that you realize that this must be a busy time. Ask about the application. Ask if you should continue to reach out, maybe next quarter. Express that you care about them and their well-being. Express you do provide support to your mentors through training, monitoring, and supporting. You don't do this alone, and you just close the conversation. But it's always very friendly and very formal, kind of like. And so that is the 4th touch. The 5th touch is it's the first email that you will do once a quarter or once a year email. So still nothing. Begin sending an email once a quarter or once a year, or maybe you put them on your monthly newsletter, whatever seems appropriate. Because by this time, they'll either have told you to stop calling them or to stop texting, or they'll unsubscribe or whatever that is, and no harm because you've done the 5 touches and it's not like you left someone waiting. So our example here was that they took the mentoring application, but they didn't turn it back. So these 5 touches could look entirely different if this wasn't the scenario. But if a caring adult just signed up and is interested, and like I said, I don't call folks unless they've given me permission to call them, and when's a good time to call. So I would have that in my recruitment stuff. If someone took a mentoring application, I try to figure out if it's good to call them, text them, or email them. But email and text seem to be one of those non-evasive things to do. So what did I do here with these 5 touches? I know that you saw this slide last month regarding SEL, but in everyday mentoring, this is the basis of the recruitment strategy. So at the beginning, so the way that the developmental relationship with the Search Institute works, it goes clockwise. And so at the beginning, we must express care for the caring adult if we want them to express care to the young person, the mentee. And even if they turn in the mentoring application, you can connect them with a seasoned mentor, and they can share their experience with at least once to try and communicate that there is support. So, that's how I would do that. You can only provide like challenge and growth with a mentor when they finish the application. So, and they do the training. So that's where the challenge and growth come in. You get to know them. And once they're a mentor, they will share power with you and the organization and the mentee, and they act like a liaison, and there's a balance. And then through that, there's expanded possibilities. So I hope that you kind of see how I used a relationship framework to use it as a recruitment strategy. So here we are. We are service people. We just we're not good at selling what we do. So this slide helps me a lot. I kind of keep this sometimes close to me when I'm working. What you focus on grows. What you think about expands, and what you dwell upon determines your destiny. So I hope we can take away some of these strategies that you guys can use them. I just hope that you develop a strategy and that you don't apologize for it. That you do good work, and you tell potential mentors how you operate, and you can tell them when they pick up the application or express interest that you are going to reach out, and don't feel bad and don't feel like you're bothering them or scaring them away. So develop a strategy and stick with it. And remember that the young people need you to do that. So any questions about everyday mentoring and the recruitment strategies? And did you find them effective? Not all at once. I know it's 2:00 on a Thursday afternoon. It's almost Cyhawk time.
I appreciate what you've done. I think it's easy to kind of get in a rut and not think of another way that we could, that seems so logical in order for us to really implement what it is we do. Sometimes we just need somebody else to give us a new twist. So thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Thank you, Angie. Yes, it is good. It's important to have a plan. It is. One thing, oh, go ahead.
I was just
Totally.
gonna say, I really appreciate the last step of the number 5, and the, like, I guess we tend to get ghosted. It happens a lot. And we'll get, interest, and we do 1, 2, 3, and 4, but I don't know that we've ever thought of like 5 and keeping them like on something, or quarterly, like you said, or a yearly email. That's a really good thought, idea, plan to add.
I have to say that I didn't, I just recently went through the mentoring process. So let me turn my camera on so you guys can see. I don't know if you can see me, but I just recently went through the mentoring process, meaning I want to mentor a young person. And I had all the ups and downs. So I just want to quickly share with you all that I picked up the mentoring application, and I was one of those people who didn't turn it in right away. I looked at it and said, yep, okay. And I said, I have to get this done. So it was an easy 2 weeks. It was easy 2 or 3 weeks before I actually opened the email and was like, okay, I got to get this done. So I got it done. And the background check. Okay, I live in Iowa, in Ames. I don't have a criminal background, and so I was like, okay, this is easy enough. And then it was like, we need your driving insurance, we need your car insurance. I was like, okay. And at this pace, my heart is like going, okay, oh my gosh, is this? Can I do this? Can I actually do this? And then we need your driving record. Okay, so I did that with the DOT, got that done. Okay. And then after a minute, they're like, okay, all of this is in, it's good. We're gonna try and find you a match. We're gonna go through training. The training was hard. When I say hard, it was hard to sit through 2 hours. I was like, okay, note to self that this is hard to carve out this this 2 hours, and I'm hearing about all the challenges, and I'm hearing culture humility, and trying to be consistent and be intentional. I'm hearing all the good things. You guys do fantastic job of all of that. And I'm getting nervous. Like, Tony, can I do this? Okay, I'm thinking about my children. I'm thinking about, I work in Des Moines, I live in Ames. Okay, can I squeeze this in? This looks like, man, this is a lot of work. This is a lot of time. I don't know if I want to do this. And then I had to think about it. And then I started to talk to people who mentor. And this one person simply said to me, Tony, to mentor, and it's all you have to do is to just be you and be consistent and enjoy the young person. You're great. You're already great. No problem. Just do what you do and it'll be fine. And I needed to hear that. And so I just wanted to share with you guys my experience because I had these highs and lows. And I thought about these 5 touches, and if I would have had a seasoned person actually send me an email, or someone who's like, hey, I want to talk to you about my experience with XYZ, this would be so great if you would join our family. I don't know if you want to use the word family, but you kind of become this place where you want to come, and so that's why I use the Search Institute's developmental relationship framework, because you're asking them, the mentor, to do what you want them to do with a young person, but you have to show them that that is what you're about. And so because I felt that, as I've been working with this organization, I feel good. I made the right decision, and I'm happy to mentor. So I just wanted to share that with you, because it was kind of like an up and down, like a process in my mind emotionally. So one thing that we didn't talk about is activities engagement. That's the one strategy that I purposely left out, because I wanted us to try and have a discussion. And maybe this is something, Mary, that we need to do in a coffee chat about having parent and community engagement in these group activities where we're still seeing low attendance, right? Like, we know that the mentor and the mentee carve out time to meet, and you have those matches. But then when it's time to have a group gathering, a pool party, a fall event, or whatever, for them to come, and you tell them to register so you can figure out how many are going to come, it's hard to get them there, especially after this time of social distancing. So I'm just curious of some strategies that you guys would love to hear. I mean, are you guys experiencing this also? I heard it from some of you, but do you have some ideas of what's worked, what hasn't worked? Is it the timing? Is it the time of year? Do you find summer people are on vacation, so you don't do a whole lot of group activities? What is that?
Here, I thought you had all the answers.
Sorry. This is the one that I was kind of stumped of what kind of strategy.
So a strategy for us that we usually around like July, beginning of August, June, July, when we have events, and then we send it out like in our newsletter, and we send it out hard copy. We do a ballot where we ask our mentors, our parents, our youth to like vote on what they want to see for events in the upcoming years. And then by the end of August, we tally it up, and like there's the top 5 events that are voted on. And then so we kind of base our whole year events off of the ballots and what people have voted for. Like, for instance, we had one of the things on the ballot was to go up to Lacrosse Queen and do a riverboat ride on the riverboat. and it got really high numbers on the ballot, and we're doing that as our September event, and right now we have 38 people signed up to come to the event. So we've just found that, and if we aren't getting the numbers, we've also been able to like go back and be like, remember, this is something you guys voted for, and it just helps us keep on track and make sure we're offering what our people want and using their voice.
Yeah, good. That's a good one. Anyone else? And this is always a thing, you know, to try and get parent engagement and community engagement. Are any of you finding that the youth kind of, there's some things that they used to want to do and now not so much, like that's not like a thing anymore? I'm just curious if there are people who are successful with pool parties and others are not successful with pool parties this time of year. Is it some place where you guys go to the apple orchard and do the whole apple pumpkin thing? And is that something that doesn't happen? Do they want to do something else? So just curious. No? Well, that's one of the things that Mary and I have been talking about is youth voice. And, you know, that's one of the things that I can't wait for is to have youth talk to all of us about how they would like to engage in mentoring relationships, just hearing their experiences with and a caring adult. So I'm looking forward to that. One of the last things I wanted to bring up was the Iowa Mentoring Summit. Don't forget to mark your calendars for October 27th. It is going to be at the Scout Center, right, Mary? I think that is where it will be in Des Moines. And if you haven't told us some things that you would like us to cover, please feel free to do that. Mary, anything you want to add?
I don't think so. I was gonna just go find that and drop that in chat if people wanted to share some topics. I'm gonna stop recording and find that.